Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts, because what I'm about to spill makes the Kardashians look like a community theater drama shot on VHS. King Harris, yes, the son of rap icon T.I, just dropped an emotional bomb so wild, it had fans clutching their pearls, ugly crying in the comments, and wondering if life itself is secretly a bet soap opera. We're talking about his so-called final farewell. And no, this isn't one of those typical influencer I'm logging off for self-care moments, only to come back 2 days later promoting detox teas. This was raw. This was heavy. So intense that even Netflix producers were probably somewhere whispering, how do we turn this man's pain into a limited series? Picture it, doctors rushing in, family members holding back tears, fans losing their minds screaming, is this real? All while Twitter turned the whole ordeal into a circus of memes overnight. If Shakespeare was alive right now, he'd probably say, even I couldn't write a plot this messy. But trust me, once you hear the full story, you'll realize this wasn't just a goodbye. This was the kind of chaos that fuels tabloids, keeps bloggers awake, and makes your nosy cousin forward the link with 7 exclamation marks. The controversy hit the internet like a bomb at a family cookout. King Harris, already famous for chaos, rap royalty, drama, and meme-worthy meltdowns, found himself at the center of what fans quickly nicknamed the farewell circus. Here's the setup. King, already a headline magnet, goes public with a farewell that felt part confession, part Shakespearean tragedy, and part WWE retirement speech. That's 3 halves, I know, but welcome to King Harris math, where reality gets divided, multiplied, and turned into memes in record time. Reports flooded in, doctors were involved, family members were rushing, and the energy in that room was tighter than a Drake versus Kendrick diss track. Some said he collapsed. Others swore it was staged for clout. And of course, the self-proclaimed internet experts appeared, diagnosing him through Twitter threads and Instagram lives, like they were auditioning for Grey's Anatomy. The first leaks painted a scene that was tragic, chaotic, and honestly, a little darkly funny. Fans were crying out, "Don't go, King," while frantically refreshing TMZ, some lit candles on TikTok. Others were already editing dramatic farewell montages with sad piano music. And then there were the skeptics, the loud few asking, wait, is this just another Harris family PR stunt? Let's keep it real. The Harris clan has a reputation. From reality TV explosions to live stream chaos, their family drama has more flavor than Thanksgiving mac and cheese baked with gossip. So when King announced his final farewell, fans were torn. Should they cry or grab popcorn? Then came the leaks. According to sources, and by sources, we mean your cousin's friend's barber, who swears he saw it live, King had written emotional messages that read more like a Hollywood script than real life. The kind of lines that make you go, did Shakespeare ghostwrite this? Online, fans described the vibe as half hospital scene, half reality TV confessional. His family, T.I, Tiny, and all, were allegedly holding it together like duct tape on a broken chair. Then doctors rushed in, and suddenly, the whole thing turned into a full-on cliffhanger. But here's the twist. The public couldn't agree on what they were witnessing. Was it a real medical crisis, an emotional breakdown, or a plot twist for the next Love and Hip Hop spinoff? And honestly, that's exactly what made this moment explode online. The uncertainty. One crowd swore they saw real pain in his eyes, while another claimed he was teasing a new single called Final Farewell Remix. Memes took off faster than Kris Jenner, filing trademarks for a newborn grandkid. Someone even edited King Harris onto the Titanic, waving goodbye as fans screamed, "Don't let go." Now, let's talk first reactions. Twitter, sorry, X, but come on. Nobody actually calls it that, went into full meltdown mode. Hashtags like hashtag pray for King and hashtag final farewell shot up the charts faster than a Nicki versus Cardi subtweet war. TikTok was flooded with fans sobbing and remixing his farewell into dance challenges, while YouTubers were already dropping reaction videos with fake tears and clickbait titles like "I can't believe King did this." Even celebrities couldn't resist jumping in. Some sent love and prayers. Others cracked jokes. One rapper who wisely stayed anonymous allegedly said, "This man's goodbye got more streams than my last mixtape, Savage." But let's slow down for a second. King Harris has always lived in chaos. From livestream fights to fiery clapbacks that sound professionally written, controversy isn't new to him, it's his comfort zone. So, the idea that he might have exaggerated or staged this farewell, not exactly shocking. Yet here's where it gets interesting. Even the doubters admitted the emotion hit different this time. His voice breaking, his family panicking, the hospital backdrop, it didn't feel rehearsed. No filters, no PR polish, just raw, messy reality. And that's why fans couldn't look away. Things got even deeper when whispers started flying that this wasn't just about health or drama. Some hinted it tied back to old beefs, inner battles, and the crushing pressure of being born into hip-hop royalty. Imagine growing up in T.I.'s shadow, trying to carry the Harris legacy while every slip turns into a viral meme. That's enough to break anyone though. So when the so-called final goodbye leaked, Fans were split between heartbreak and suspicion. Was King saying goodbye to life, or just to the old version of himself? A PR rebrand, a cry for peace. Either way, the internet went nuclear. Instagram lives, TikTok stitches, YouTube deep dives. Everyone suddenly became an expert on King's mental state. If part 1 was the pilot episode of a chaotic HBO drama, then this was the mid-season twist no one saw coming. Forget Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Keeping Up with King Harris became the new spectator sport. The internet wasn't watching. It was devouring every pixel, screenshot, and shaky reblowed like vultures at a celebrity cookout. And let's be real, nothing spreads faster than a celebrity meltdown wrapped in mystery. First up, the meme. Oh, the meme. Within hours, King's farewell was everywhere. Someone edited his final words over the Avengers Endgame snap. Another replaced Simba crying over Mufasa with King's face, captioned, "Don't go, King." Twitter, or X, if you're Elon and delusional, turned the situation into a full-blown comedy festival. Tragedy and sarcasm collided harder than Kanye at an award show. Then came the celebrity reactions. Buckle up. Some stars went full Hallmark mode, posting prayers up, with glitter filters and angel emoji. Others, not so soft. Boosie, never one to hold back, allegedly laughed on livestream saying, "Man, y'all believe everything you see. That boy probably recording a diss track backstage right now." Fans roasted him, but secretly wondered if he was right. Meanwhile, a few opportunistic rappers saw free promo and took it, tweeting things like, "King Harris got y'all emotional, but while you're here, go stream my new single, Shady." But smart marketing, and of course, the Harris family critics came crawling out like it was Christmas morning. "See, told y'all he just wants attention," they shouted, splicing clips of his farewell with old interviews where he bragged about clout. That's when the story flipped. Was this a cry for help, or a cry for headlines? But the biggest shock came when fans started dissecting his own words. Leaked screenshots of King's messages revealed poetic lines about betrayal, legacy, and the burden of his last name. Instantly, the theories went wild. Some swore he was throwing shade at his dad. Others said it hinted at industry beef. And of course, the internet's favorite crowd, the conspiracy theorists, popped up claiming he was exposing the dark side of hip-hop. Because apparently, if a celebrity sneezes, the Illuminati gets blamed. The farewell wasn't just a farewell, it became a full-blown digital investigation. Think CSI, Instagram edition, led by detectives who've never left their bedrooms. Fans slowed down clips frame by frame, like they were decoding the JFK footage. Look at his eyes. 3 blinks. That's Morse code for help. Absolute madness. And just when it couldn't get any crazier, enter the hospital twist. Rumors spread that King Harris had been rushed to the ER mid-farewell, sending the internet into DEFCON 1 meltdown mode. TMZ dropped grainy parking lot photos of ambulances. Random blogs with names like hiphop diva _42 claimed exclusive nurse leaks. One headline screamed, "Doctors rush to save King Harris. Fans fear the worst." But here's the kicker. Hospitals swore they saw him laughing with his phone out minutes. Later, boom, the narrative flipped faster than a pancake at IHOP. Was he fighting for his life, or just trolling the entire internet? Cue the chaos. Cue the chaos. Cue the chaos. TikTok exploded with parodies, users reenacting hospital scenes with fake oxygen masks and captions like, "POV your King Harris saying goodbye, but also planning your next mixtape." YouTube gossip channels streamed for hours, milking every rumor like it was free Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, on Twitter, King Harris trended alongside clout and Oscar-worthy. And while fans argued over what was real and what was staged, the Harris family's silence made everything 10 times worse. Because online, silence doesn't mean privacy, it means guilt. To make things even messier, other celebrities began throwing shade without naming names. One tweeted, "Clout is the most dangerous drug." Another posted a moody black and white selfie with a single tear emoji. Because apparently that's the universal way of saying I care, but I also need engagement. At this point, King Harris wasn't just a trending topic, he was a cultural earthquake. His farewell had jumped from hip-hop blogs to CNN and Good Morning America, with anchors asking, "Who is King Harris? And why is the internet both crying and laughing?" And then there were the diehard fans, loyal to the bone. They defended him like family, writing open letters, organizing candlelight TikTok vigils, even launching GoFundMe pages titled Save King Harris. Never mind that no one actually knew what they were raising money for. Logic had officially left the chat. The chaos hit its breaking point when leaked audio allegedly surfaced King's voice saying, "Y'all don't care when I'm here, but you'll care when I'm gone." Boom. Mic drop. Internet explosion. Fans were in tears. Critics rolled their eyes. The Harris family, still silent. By now, it felt like a crossover between Keeping Up with the Kardashians' House of Cards and a WWE retirement special. Fans were exhausted, confused, and completely addicted. But here's the savage truth. King Harris pulled off what no one else in his lane could. He hijacked the internet. In an era where scandals vanish in 24 hours, his farewell became a saga that refused to die, a never-ending loop of memes, theories, outrage, and emotional breakdowns. And the scariest part? Nobody knew if it was really over, because just as fans started wiping their tears and debating his sincerity, whispers began that final farewell wasn't the end. It was the beginning of something bigger. A bigger drop, a bigger scandal, a bigger legacy move. If part 2 was a hurricane, what came next was the aftermath. But not peace and quiet. It felt like the internet was left in ruins, scavenging the debris for the juiciest gossip it could find. King Harris's final farewell didn't just stop trending, it mutated. It evolved. It infected every corner of pop culture like the scandal version of a zombie apocalypse. The first aftershock hit when the Harris family finally broke their silence. But instead of a carefully crafted PR statement, fans got cryptic half-sentences, deleted tweets, and one suspicious Instagram story, a single Bible verse, a candle emoji, and zero context. Classic. The internet went wild. Was it confirmation, denial, or just a clever way to keep the drama simmering? Critics sharpened their knives. YouTube pundits and late-night podcasters accused the Harris clan of monetizing tragedy. One commentator compared it to monopoly money in the bank of attention. Another said, if Shakespeare wrote clout-chasing plays, this would be Act 5. Savage. But here's the gag. Whether you thought King Harris was spiraling, scheming, or just selling the ultimate rebrand, one truth stood firm. The emotional damage was already done. Fans who cried their eyes out felt flat-out betrayed. The skeptics who clowned him suddenly looked heartless if that health scare was legit. The line between truth and performance blurred so hard that even veteran gossip bloggers confessed. I don't know whether to cry, laugh, or just make a thumbnail. And then came the fan fallout. Thousands swore they were done with him for good. His socials flooded with unfollow emojis, angry essays, and dramatic goodbye videos. But ironically, in the middle of all that outrage, his numbers blew up. Streams climbed. His name ruled Google Trends. Every blog, meme, and reaction video pushed him deeper into the spotlight. He supposedly wanted to leave. That it was the paradox of modern fame. Cancel him. And he only levels up. Behind the scenes, relationships were reportedly strained. Word spread that T.I and Tiny were clashing over how to handle the storm. Some whispered that King's siblings felt sidelined watching, as his chaos hijacked the entire Harris spotlight. Industry insiders claimed labels were keeping their distance, not for lack of skill, but because he'd become radioactive. He was living proof that bad press can still be great promotion. Then came the wildest twist. People realized this wasn't just about King Harris anymore. His so-called farewell had lit a bigger fire. Suddenly, everyone was talking about the toxic loop between celebrity, mental health, and the never-ending thirst for attention online. Talk shows debated it. Think pieces dissected it. Headlines asked, are we the reason for King Harris's collapse? And the internet did what it always does. It devoured another celebrity alive. But just when the storm started to settle, King Harris reappeared alive, confident, and unapologetically smug. His comeback? A live stream? Of course. Because what's the point of a farewell saga if you don't rise again like a rapper messiah on Instagram Live? Fans expected a heartfelt apology, or at least an explanation. Instead, King smirked, cracked jokes about being the most trending hospital patient ever, and teased new music. Cue global meltdown. Supporters cheered, calling him a genius. He played the internet like chess. Critics raged, saying he milked sympathy for clout. And the rest of us, we were too busy laughing at memes comparing him to Tupac faking his death. The ripple effect was insane. Late-night hosts roasted him, brands dropped sly references to his farewell in ads. Rappers threw shade in bars, calling him goodbye King and Clout Messiah. His name became shorthand for doing the absolute most. But here's the wild truth. Love him or hate him, King Harris had reinvented himself overnight. Yesterday, he was just T.I.'s son caught in drama. Now, he was a headline-grabbing chaos magnet who made the world stop scrolling. From background noise to breaking news. From a forgotten name to a brand you couldn't ignore. And fans couldn't help but wonder what's next. If that was the farewell, what's the sequel? A diss track, a messy reality show, a Netflix doc titled Final Goodbye, The King Harris Story. The possibilities were endless and a little terrifying because here's the truth. The scandal didn't die, it just evolved into Act 2. His image may be bruised, but his relevance, sky. And in the ruthless game of fame, that's all that matters. Whether King's farewell was a genuine cry for help, a calculated stunt, or something in between, one thing's undeniable. He pulled off the impossible. He made the internet care. He made us argue, laugh, and meme like our lives depended on it. And that, my friends, is the real legacy. So, there you have it, the so-called final farewell of King Harris. The goodbye that wasn't really goodbye. The tragedy turned meme machine. The digital meltdown that made the Super Bowl halftime show look like a school play. But let's be honest, you didn't watch this whole saga because you were worried about his well-being. You watched for the chaos, the drama, the emotional whiplash. and the pure entertainment of watching a farewell implode into one of the wildest plot twists since Game of Thrones dropped the ball. Now here's the deal: if you laughed, gasped, or even side-eyed once during this madness, hit that like button like it owes you money. Smash subscribe like King Harris smashed the internet. And don't just scroll away, drop your theories in the comments. Was this a real breakdown or the performance of the decade? I read them all, tea in hand. Hotter than grandma's Thanksgiving stuffing. And remember, this isn't the end. Tomorrow, next week, next month, another scandal's brewing. And you know where it'll land first, right here, where we dissect drama sharper than a Kardashian divorce lawyer. So turn those notifications on, because the chaos doesn't sleep, and neither do we. This is Expose Express, where scandals never die. Celebrities pretend not to watch, and you get the front row seat to every meltdown, clapback, and final farewell that somehow never ends. Until next time, stay messy, stay nosy, and stay tuned, because the next scandal is already loading.